just too quick for it. Peeling off like the whip orange. Seen they effort, this piss poor. I got too much I gotta tend to. Car payments and the rent due. Told y'all that I'm 6 foot, but with the money stabbing, I'm 10-2. Too much that I've been through, so I put it all in that rear view. Clean money in a black whip. Got old problems with the friends new. Yeah, I'm in the big leagues. Told her don't miss me. Ballin' like Houston, ayy, feeling like Whitney. Yeah, I need a bag, bruh. Send it through quickly.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode, Dr. Yawg's Clinic. Brandon Osborne, aka Control for Days. If you're new here, what we do is we take you through league matches with the deck Black-Green Yawgmoth in the format Modern, and we teach you how to play the deck, how to be successful in the matchups that the deck plays against. If you clicked on this video, you know what we're playing against right now. I don't know personally, but I'm gonna find out in short order. So let's get started. Let's see what we're playing against. We are on the play, and let's see. I thought I clicked the wrong button there. 7-card hand. It's fine. It's a little on the slow side, but I think we're gonna keep it. Yeah, it's fine. Our opponent keeps their 7-card hand as well. They did not reveal a companion, so no Yornion, which is pretty much the only companion that really gets played. Obosh as well periodically, but so they lead Plains, Giver of Runes, so we're thinking right off the bat, one of two things. It's either Hammer Time, which is probably more likely, and then less likely would be like a Death and Taxes style deck. So Grist was a decent draw, as long as we pulled another land on our next turn. If we pull another land, we can go Wall of Roots into Grist, or Wall of Roots into Evolution. So Mishra's Factory, that's feeling like more of a Death and Taxes style deck. Stoneforge, which is problematic if they get a Cauldra, which I'm guessing is what they're gonna get. There it is. Okay, so we're likely going to need to get rid of that land. Okay, we got the land, which is really good. Wall of Roots into Wall of Roots into Grist, and then we're gonna minus the Grist. Oh wait, we can't do that. Oof, that was a big mistake. Having the active Giver of Runes, oh, that's a huge mistake. Alright, already minused, so we're gonna do that. Get rid of the Giver. Yeah, I was rushing things there. I was focused on what I was gonna say to you guys and not focused on what was actually happening in the game. Alright, so we're gonna get hit with the Cauldra. It's likely gonna kill the Grist here, if I had to imagine. Yeah, that was a big mess up. I think in that situation, what I should have done is just uptick the Grist, let the Cauldra kill the Grist, and then go from there. So we would have had 5 mana and 3 creatures this turn, as opposed to what our current board state looks like, which is not particularly great. Okay, so I think our only real choice here is to play out the Yawgmoth. And we didn't play a land for the turn. Like if I hit a land, like I sacrifice the Wall of Roots, hit a land, and play out the Birds of Paradise, that's really good. Whereas if I don't hit a land, it's really bad, but I think we're so far behind that we kind of need to do that. Alright, we didn't hit a land, but Geist is not terrible. I haven't played against Death and Taxes in quite some time. Alright, we can get this off the... Alright, so we're probably losing this one. Yeah, I punted this one away pretty big. Pretty badly. Fortunately, this is a pretty good matchup, and I think if we're on the play, we should be able to pull it out. Should be able to get the win. I mean, there's still a slim chance we could win this. It's not particularly likely, but there's a chance. What do they get now? A Batter Skull? Lion Sash. It's kind of a cool card from Kamigawa. It's like the white Scavenging Ooze. Okay, that's pretty good against us. So we're definitely going to be bringing Crime Punishment post board. I mean, this thing pretty much just shuts off our entire hand. I forgot about that as well. Wow, I'm playing really poorly. I mean, it doesn't matter too much. We're just dead. But yeah, I punted that one away. Not that to say that we necessarily would have won, but we would have been in a much different position had I played that differently. All right, so So they're likely on vials. Something to take into consideration when we're sideboarding. I don't think endurance is very good in this matchup. I don't think we need all of our Wall of Roots, so I think we're going to shave on 2 of those. Ultimately, we want to get an early Yawgmoth in play and then just mow down their board and kill them from there. And get rid of the Scavenging Ooze as well. I think we'll cut a Chord of Calling. I think that looks pretty good to me. We'll see how this goes on the play. Like I said, a favorable matchup. We should be advantaged here. This 7. Obviously, we would like another land. We have so many mana dorks, though. We have 3 mana dorks. It's tempting. I think we'll keep it. I don't think this is good, but I think there's some pretty significant upside to keeping this hand, so I think we're going to go with it. Very borderline hand, though. Definitely not a clear cut and definitely not a good hand, but I think it's good enough. There's the vial. Alright, so we're playing out more dorks. I guess the question is, yeah, I think we play out another bird. Next turn we'll have a Grist and a Wolf. And if we draw something like a Chord of Calling, we'll be in business. Vial on 1. Play out another bird. And our grist, and we'll uptick the grist. Pass the turn. Yes, all we're missing here is a Yawgmoth. We get that into play and we're in business. Sort of Fire and Ice, not that big a deal. I don't think it's that big a deal. So they can put in like a Stoneforge end of turn and then have a Cauldron next turn and be hitting us for like a lot of damage. Assuming they have another land. I think almost play out our entire hand here. Start with the messenger. Or sacrifice the messenger. Probably should have played out the Geist and then sacrificed the Geist. Maybe that was right. So I could hit with 3 as opposed to 2. Operating pretty efficiently on 1 mana here. I'm not going to swing with the insect just because I'm anticipating. They have something they can vial in here. If it's a Stoneforge, that's probably best case scenario for them. Arbiter, we're fine with that. Maybe I should have left the Geist back just in case they have a way to kill the insect token, which it does not appear they do. Second Arbiter, we're fine with that. Okay, that's pretty good. This is going to be the first time a Crusader is going to hit the battlefield, so we'll see if they can deal with that. I think we're going to lead with an attack here. Swing with both of them. Alright, no blocks. Alright, Crusader's on the battlefield. Let's see how if it pulls its weight against Death and Taxes here. Quite a few creatures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 creatures and a grist on 1 land. It's kind of funny. Alright, a vial on 4. Vial on 4 is interesting. We're thinking like Restoration Angel. And that one is pretty good. That guy does work. So we have the win. Alright, and they scooped. Game 3. That one was pretty clear cut. Pretty straightforward win. Game 3. I wonder if I want to cut them off a vial potentially by running a Force of Vigor. Like we have the Crime Punishment, we have the Liberator. If they stick a turn 1 Vial, we'll be playing off the back foot. I feel like it might be okay shaving an Evolution and playing another Vial. Or shaving an Evolution and playing a Force of Vigor. Okay, I think this hand's... it's slow, but I think it's fine. I think this is a keep. I think I'm going to lead on a Thoughtseize here. I could wait a turn, but I think I want to be proactive with how I use this right now. So Thalia doesn't really do anything. And Lion Sash I can actually get rid of. With the Beseiju. I think the Lion Sash has higher upside because it gives them something to put their mana into, so I think we'll get rid of the Lion Sash. Okay, so that was a really good draw, and that would have been like why we would have held the Thoughtseize. Oh, that's strange they didn't get the Cauldron there. I'm not sure why they would do that. I mean, they have the Giver to give the... I don't know, that seems wrong to me. That's a pretty good draw. And we have the Beseiju where we can get rid of the Sword of Fire and Ice if we need to. So the question here is, do we fetch? I think we fetch non-basic because they have the Ghost Quarter. So we're going to take a little bit of damage here. Just a little bit unfortunate, but it's what it is. So we actually have the opportunity to get Yawgmoth into play next turn as well. Is that better than Crusader? I think so. So we know their whole hand. We know that's what they're holding there. So playing out the Yawgmoth, part of the reason I'm doing this is because it gives me the ability to use the Beseiju for 1 mana as opposed to 2. I'm really confused why they didn't get the Cauldron. Why they got the Sword of Fire and Ice. That is perplexing to me. Okay, so they attach the Sophie. They have a 3/4. They're going to take a hit for 5. Okay, and they ping down the bird, which we're going to Okay, Blood Artist actually isn't bad. Thalia's fine. Best draw here is probably like a Yawgmoth. Okay, 1-drop, another 1-drop's fine. They have 2 cards in hand. They have a Ghost Quarter and something else. So I can lead with the Ignoble and then play out a Crusader. The Ignoble kills the Giver. Or I could play the Blood Artist and the Ignoble. Kill the Giver. Gain a life, drain a life. I think either way we lead on the... No. Or I could play out the Grist. Maybe that's right. Ignoble and Grist. No, I think the Crusader is the safer play. So I think we do that. So I'll play out the Ignoble. Kill the Giver. Play the Crusader. And pass the turn. I think this is the safer move here. So the Crusader can pretty much block anything in their deck without an issue. We know they have a Ghost Quarter in hand. It's interesting they're not playing that out as of yet. Okay, they're activating the Factory. So here I think we're okay blocking with the Crusader, as the Factory is actually going to... They can't activate it after this point. I don't know if they expected us to do that or not. They added a mana. I'm not sure why they added a mana. Okay, double Hierarch and Blood Artist. I think this is good. Build out our board state a little bit more. Now the question is, do we attack with Yawgmoth? I think we hit for 4. I think that's fine. And then I guess there's also a consideration to kill the Stoneforge just in case they have a Cauldra. I don't want to give them the opportunity to play that out, so I think I'm going to do this now. Another Crusader's pretty good. Pass the turn. Now if they try to equip the sword, I think we're just going to kill the Thalia. They got their Ghost Quarter. They can't activate the Factory because the counters on it. And they're not equipping. I think we're fine with this. Okay, Solitude. So we can kill the Thalia, which I think is what we wind up doing. Alright, and that works out alright. Now we have Yawgmoth, double Yawgmoth. See if we can pull another land here. Alright, we did not, but we're okay. We're very close to a win at this point. Excuse me. And that is a trade we are perfectly fine with. I guess they're anticipating that. Play out a Vial, and they have one card in hand. Another Thalia. I think we're pretty favored to win from here. Forest. Play our Yawgmoth. Okay, and then now I think 1, 2, 3. Can go Grist. And then the next card I'm going to get, I think, is going to be probably like a Prosperous Innkeeper. Just because the Blood Artist is in her graveyard here. I guess I shouldn't have attacked because it takes me off of Innkeeper. So that was a mistake. And now I need to think. There's the Cauldron. I'm really confused why they didn't get that at the beginning of the game. Would have been GG for them. So I can get a Yawgmoth here. Or wait a turn and get the Innkeeper. I think that's fine. I know they're 1 mana off of hard casting this, so that's something we need to keep on our radar. Alright, let's just go to our turn. Let's see what happens here. Okay, we go Yawgmoth to Innkeeper, and then we can just draw our whole deck here. Let me see, do I have any Endurance left in the deck? I boarded all the Endurance out, so I can't kill with Blood Artist. Okay, we're gonna get our Innkeeper. Okay, so they scooped. Saw the writing on the wall. Basically from there we just start drawing cards until we find Drolf's Messenger or another Chord of Calling, and then we just kill them from there. So we got there 2-1, Death and Taxes, a favorable matchup. There were some misplays, definitely on my part, which made that match a little bit harder than it needed to be, but we came back and we still got there. Yeah, it's a creature-based strategy. As long as they don't get out of the gates too quickly, I think we're favored in any sort of matchup that fits that bill. And then Crusader, you know, it's not really meant for this matchup, but it certainly, you know, it gives us enough time to be able to build out our game plan, which is kind of what happened with that. That being said, my name is Brandon Osborne. I'm checking out. Before I head my separate way for the day, I need to tell you to make sure that you subscribe, give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment. All of those things help me, it helps the channel. So I appreciate when you do those things. Even if you just write to me in the comments for the algorithm, thumbs up in my book. I appreciate it. Also, resources in the description below. You have a sideboard guide. You have a condensed sideboard guide. You have my stat sheet, all of my stats across all of my deck lists, so you can figure out, what's performing well, what's not, what matchups are favored, what aren't. And new, which you can find on my Patreon, I have the start of a primer that I am writing out for this deck list, where I'm going into a deep dive about everything to do with this deck. Part 1 is up, which is an introduction to the primer, and if you haven't decided whether or not you like this deck, you want to play this deck, kind of talks about some of the pros and cons of it. So go over to my Patreon, check that out. It's free. And if you're there and you just so happen to want to contribute, feel free to do that as well, because I greatly appreciate that. And any money that you contribute to me will be going towards content creation tools to put out better content and make this more successful for everybody. So with that being said, I'm checking out. Brandon Osborne, thank you for tuning in. I will see you guys next time. Dr. Yawg's Clinic. I'm losing my voice. I'm done.